Good morning. It is Bright Star Mornings for today. Here we go. The usual, here we go. The usual, observer fun. For those of you that are in the typology space, y'all know. So for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about observer fun and observer freakouts and things like that, let me just boost this real quick. So you may have heard of Myers-Briggs. This is a brief intro to typology before we get started today. You may have heard of Myers-Briggs, and that's a different. There's like 16 different personality types, right? So it's a personality type thing. And my personality type, I'm what's known as an ENFP, extrovert, intuition, feeling, perceiving type. But like once you start down the rabbit hole of typology, you find that it's not that simple. The 4 letters are just like the tip of the iceberg, and there's all kinds of like cognitive functions underneath it and things like that. And one of the things about the ENFPs, well, all of the types that are like E-P or I-J, we are what's called single observers, which means that we go through the world with our top cognitive function as our as an observing function, a perceiving function. And what that means is, like, when I go live, I have a momentary freak out every time. And we call that observer freak out. So, but I'm really proud of myself. I got through it in 2 minutes. We're up and running, ready to go, which is a record for me, considering also today was I was almost late because my son is having some kind of an issue. My husband is taking care of him, which is good, but he was up at like 3 a.m. So this is one of these real mommy moments. So if my 5-year-old should come down, don't be surprised. So let's start with mug talk. Today's mug, I love this mug. It's this like bamboo shoot, and like on the other side, it's very hot right now. So let me try to flip it around without touching it. On the other side is like a slightly different looking bamboo thing. Like the one on my side now, like, so there's like this white one and then the regular one. I love this mug. I just think it's so pretty. And I love the form of it. It's thinner. It's like drinking out of a bamboo shoot. It's great for like tea. I don't know where it came from. My husband brought it home one day. I think it came from his job. Like somebody didn't want it. And that's like, and it just sort of made its way into my life, and it has very quickly become one of my favorite mugs. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. Mug talk. So, all right. So the topic of the day, let's get into it. We're 3 minutes in. Topic of the day, New Year's intentions. Okay. I'm not calling them New Year's resolutions. I am not calling them New Year's resolutions. So, excuse me. If you go on brightstarcoachonline.com today, you will find a blog post all about reflecting on the years past. So we're going to start. This is going to be a 2-part Facebook Live today. I'm going to start with sort of the retrospective part of it, of looking and reflecting on the year that's gone by. And then I'm going to look forward into the new year and how I do that, and kind of the way that I like to approach that, as opposed to sort of the New Year's resolution style of just like, I'm just going to set a resolution. It's just going to be that way. I'm going to turn this camera. I'm going to point it down just slightly. Yeah, that's a lot better. So you want to be able to, by the way, content creators out there, people want to see your hands. If I'm talking down here, that's very disconcerting. So I had to like turn it down just a bit. Yeah, my hair is getting cut off, but I don't have a lot of it anyway. I'm still trying to grow it out. So that's fine. I'd rather cut off my hair and have you see my hands. Anyways, so it's a 2-part, today's going to be a 2-part Bright Star Morning that kind of parallels the 2-part, blog post that I'm posting today and tomorrow. So today's already dropped. And I very intentionally did that. So if you go online and you Google New Year's intentions, New Year's resolutions, and things like that, you're going to find that most people's posts are, let's talk about last year. Now let's get into planning for next year, right? Like everybody wants to jump right into the New Year's resolution piece, right into the New Year's intention piece. And they kind of, it's like the reflection on the year past becomes sort of like a, yeah. Okay. But that's over. Right. And I totally get it. At my job, like one of the things that we have to do every quarter is talk about what really we do it every month. And every quarter is talk about like what has happened over the previous period of performance and then what's coming up. And I always have a hard time looking back at like the previous period of performance. Like I'm always like, what's the point? Like that's all history. Like we don't need to like go through the numbers of everything. But when it comes to ending a year and then starting the next year, I think that there is an incredible amount of value in doing that reflection. And so today's post on the blog was very intentional that I only put the reflection piece. I did not put the looking forward piece. And the reason I did that is I want my readers, I want my audience and myself to kind of take a day and carve out some space for just reflecting on the year that's gone by. So the way that I do this, and so what I was just bringing up is my own little notebook. So I do things on iPads. I don't do things on physical paper anymore. I have a lot of reasons. We don't have to get into all of them, but like some of it has to do with I can never really, like, I like the physical act of writing, with my pencil and stuff. I like that. But when I have a physical piece of paper, I'm always erasing and doing it over and doing it over. Whereas an iPad, it gives me that flexibility to be able to like make those changes and edit as I go, but yet still have that tactile feeling. So that's in a nutshell why I do this. So here's my actual notebook. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that on this. There we go. You can kind of pop and see it. So I was doing the same reflection that I talked about in the blog. Slight difference. If you read the blog, I said what worked well, reflect on what worked well and what could be improved. I wrote successes and challenges, same. But the idea is you look over the year gone by, so you look over 2019 and you think about, oh man, this isn't showing again. There we go. You think about what were your successes for the year, and then what were your challenges and what could be improved. What could have been done better, if you will. For me this year, 2019, at the beginning of the year, I set out to do a Spartan trifecta. Now, actually, like in strict point of order, when I started 2019, I wasn't like committed to the Spartan trifecta. It was, I'm going to do the first, I had already signed up, I think, for the super, and it was like, I'm going to do the super and see how I feel. And I felt good enough to go ahead for the trifecta. So like, that's like the number one success that came to my mind for 2019 was the Spartan trifecta, as like that went well. And then what could be improved or challenges is another way to look at it. I actually might edit the blog post to say challenges because I like both of those. I like both what could be improved and challenges, because the idea there is not to, I'll say, focus on the negative. It's not to look back over your year and focus on all the things that didn't work out, all the things that could have gone better and didn't. It is to really take a lesson from it and have that growth mindset that says, what could have been improved? Where did I feel a lot of challenges? And I had some personal challenges this year. Some things in my personal life that didn't go the way that I would have liked them to go. Some things like that are on my challenges list and in my what could be improved list. A lot of like feelings of external pressure on me this year, which I found interesting as I was doing this reflection. I noticed that, so the pattern that I noticed was that my successes are very much like in reality. So this is another like success for the year, or what went well for the year. I always wanted to play D&D. I know it sounds kind of like nerdy and everything, but I always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I never knew anybody who did. And then, hey, Dallas, I found a DM through this like typology stuff, like somebody I've never actually met in reality, but like I became friends with this person and joined a D&D game for ENFPs. And now I can say like I've played D&D. And so like it's really cool to do things like that. And so like for me, that was the thing that went well, and that was a success in 2019. But again, it was like in reality, like we have video, it happened. I actually played D&D. I actually did the Spartan trifecta. I actually started Bright Star Coaching this year. These are the things that were in my successes. What I noticed is in my challenges list, or what could be improved list, was a lot of mental. It was a lot of mental stuff for me. So as you go through this exercise of reflecting on what went well and what could be improved, take a look at that and really try to understand, like, is there any pattern there? And that's what I found. Like, the pattern that I noticed was like, wow, all my challenges were really in my head. Like, I have a roof over my head. My family is healthy this year, knock on wood. I mean, I've been through some stuff, so there's still time. But like this year, pretty much everybody was healthy. We did have some issues, with the kids and everything. And like, that is a legit challenge, but it was a lot less than, other years. So in a lot of ways, 2019 was a good year. And so that's my invitation to you guys is take some time today or this weekend to really reflect on hold on, the year gone by. I'm going to write that up and pin it in the comments. So take some time today or this weekend, let's say this weekend, to reflect on 2019. What went well? What could be improved? What went well? What were your successes? What could be improved? What were your challenges? There you go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pin that one. So yeah, so that's the thing. And then the last thing, like the last step of the sort of yearly reflection piece or half of this is let it go. So whatever happened in 2019, whatever you went through, just let it go. One of the things that I love to do, and I think I will do it this year. I've done them before with larger groups, and I could probably search and see if anybody's doing a fire ceremonies. That's what I'm trying to get at. I've done fire ceremonies before where I've actually, now you don't do this with your iPad, okay? Don't do this with your iPad. Actually get a piece of paper. Okay, find yourself. This is a card. These are actually kind of fun. These little personal pep talk cards. So you actually, grab a pen, actually write down the hard things from this year, write down the negativity from this year, the things that didn't go the way you wanted them to go, all the mental, limitations and sadnesses and griefs, like write all that down, like physically write it down on a piece of paper, get out a match, light a fire in some sort of contained pit and throw that in the fire. Okay. So let it go. And if you can't, like, if you don't feel comfortable doing a fire type of ceremony, I find it incredibly cathartic to do this practice of like actually write it down, throw it in the fire. And then I like to just sit there and watch it. I just like to watch the paper burn up in the fire. Most of you guys know that, my Hogwarts house is Gryffindor. I don't even want to get started go down the J.K. Rowling thing, but like I'm a fire person. Okay, like I have tried to deny it for my whole life, but like out of the four nations of Avatar: The Last Airbender, I am Fire Nation. And so there's something about fire that for me is very meaningful. So I love to write it down, actually put it in the fire and watch that paper crinkle up and burn away and let the smoke, let the air energy take it. So I really, really encourage you to do that. I understand if that's a little hippy dippy and you don't want to go there. I get it. Not everybody's got to go full hippie. And so, if you don't want to do that, another nice thing is write it down, throw it away. Just throw it away. Write down all of those hard things that you've gone through, all that negativity. Toss it. Whatever you need to do to let it go, to let go of the difficulties of the year gone by, that is what this weekend is for. That is what the end of the year is a great time for. Now to transition into the new year. So again, I want to take some time. I like to take some time to really reflect on the year gone by. I think that there's a lot of really great importance in that. And the reason is because my natural tendency is just to go, do, right? Very rarely do I just sit and reflect on like, what have I had? What's gone on in the past? How do I feel about the past? And so like, I'm spending more time talking about that because that's my area of struggle. Where I struggle is the reflection piece. What I excel at is the doing piece. And I know a lot of people are like me. I'm not that unique in this, especially, women, moms, working moms in the 21st century in 2019, like we're doers, we're getting stuff done. And so we need to take that time, that intentional time to really carve out to, reflect on our year and be present. And so that's why I want to really focus on that. But then as you transition into the new year, what I do for the new year, I don't really like New Year's resolutions, and they very famously fail, right? Everybody, it's kind of like known nowadays, I think, that like, oh yeah, New Year's resolutions, they fail. Fine, whatever. What I like to do is set a yearly theme. And frankly, the yearly theme doesn't even have to be strict. Like, you may get into the year and say like, ooh, I want to switch my yearly theme, or I may want to do it differently. Where I first learned about this is the podcast Cortex with CGP Grey and Mike Hurley. And CGP Grey, like he sets his yearly theme, I think, in the fall. Like that's what it was, because he used to be a teacher. So for him, like the beginning of the year is like September timeframe. And so that's when he feels inspired to like set his yearly theme. He does it in September. But like Mike always sort of laughs about it. Like, yeah, of course it makes sense to set your yearly theme in the 9th month. Like, why don't we just do it in New Year's? And so he's kind of like, in the podcast, like he kind of encourages Gray to do it in the beginning of the year. So I do it in the beginning of the year myself. I like a year to have a theme. This is super nerdy, but any Babylon 5 fans out there, Babylon 5, yeah. You know, the beginning of that, what was it, the season 4 intro? It was the year of fire, the year of destruction, the year we took back what was ours. It was a year of joy and a year of pain, right? I just love that idea. I think it was the year was 22. Oh, I don't even want to say, because I'm going to get it wrong. I need my nerds. Where's Sharona? Well, I don't know if Sharona's, anyways, I don't know if my friends are Babylon 5 fans or just Star Trek fans. But the point is, I like to start the year with one of those, like the year of this, a year of that, right? So 2018 was the year of joy. And it was because I had just come from some tough freaking years, okay? Like 2016 was the year of healing, basically, after my mom passed away. And it became that, because when I started 2016, I had no idea what was going to happen. But 2016 was like the year of healing. 2017 was the year of like new life, because I was pregnant for the majority of the year. I had my son in late August. So 2017 was just like I think it was the year of new beginnings is technically what I called it. And so 2018 was all about joy, like finding my joy, finding my bliss. I made a lot of friends in 2018. Like a lot of the people that I'm talking to now, you guys, I met you in 2018 because I was just chasing my joy. I was chasing my bliss in 2018. 2019 was the year of balance. And so for me, 2019 was very much about finding that balance point between chasing that joy and doing, and then also finding some balance within and getting back to sort of who I am and what I'm about, which is probably where Bright Star Coaching kind of came out, right? Of like 2018 I was doing and taking on more and like, yeah, you want to do a podcast, you want to do this, you want to do that. And I was like engaging. And then 2019, I was going back to where my history and like where I come from. So 2020, what's going to be your yearly theme? And you can do a lot of different things with your yearly theme. The way that I come up with my yearly theme is I really do look at my reflection from the year past. And I ask myself, like, where was I out of balance? And so that's how 2019 became the year of balance, because I realized like 2018, the year of joy was great. It was good for me to do. It was healthy. But I overextended myself. Like I was exhausted. I had too much going on. I had committed to too much. And so I knew 2019 had to be a year where I was going to find some balance. I saw that very early. So for me, 2020, you may ask, okay, well, what would 2020 be for me? For me, 2020, I think is going to be the year of following my own star. So like kind of inspired by Bright Star Coaching, kind of inspired by a lot of other things. 2019, I felt a lot of external pressures is what my little challenges thing says. That's what my reflection showed, is I felt a lot of things on the outside pushing on me. And so this year I really it's like a combination of finding my joy and my balance. So it's like a combination of the previous 2 years. 2020 is going to be, for me, the year of following my own star. So connect with your yearly theme. It takes some time. I'm going to tell you right now, like I've got friends and I that do this. It takes some time. So don't sit down today and be like, I'm going to come up with a yearly theme and then get to the end of the day and be like, I don't have one and now I'm a failure. Like, no, it's fine. Like it takes time. But once you find that yearly theme, from there, then you can set your intentions for the year. And what I love about the yearly theme is you come back to it throughout the year. It helps inform your decisions. It helps you decide, like, do I do this or do I not do this? Do I take this opportunity or not this opportunity? Because you know what your intention is. So that's what I do instead of resolutions. And then lastly, you got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan of action. You've got to know. And then that's the other thing. So goal setting, I'm going to talk about that in future ones. I do basically a seasonal goal routine. I don't do like, I mean, I kind of do goals for the year, but not really. I'm really looking at the next 3 months, because I have found that trying to do a goal for the year and be like, and say, so the way that I would do that, if I were to do it and the way I used to do it, is I would ask myself, okay, where do I want to be a year from now? Right. So we're in December 2019. Where do I want to be in December 2020? I find that horizon is just too long, and maybe for other people, that's fine. And that's cool. I like to do seasonal. And by seasonal, I don't follow the calendar necessarily. So I do sort of the planetary season. So for me, I'm in the winter season right now. The winter season for me is December, January, February. And so the spring season will start March, April, May, which means that I'm really mid-season. So I have goals and ideas that I want to do in the winter time. And so January is just like in the middle of that. It's not the start of it, is my point. So that's the way I like to approach goals. Some people like to do longer horizons. Find what works for you. Find the sweet spot, because a lot of us feel this pressure that says like, oh, it's the new year. I need a goal for 2020. What's going to be my goal? And it's like, nah, you don't really, you don't really need a goal for the year. But it is good to set a goal it's good to set an intention for the year, a tone for the year, and then look at that and decide, okay, what are going to be my goals? Right? What are going to be the areas that I'm going to focus on? And that, that's the other aspect of setting a yearly theme, is you look at your focus areas, not a broad stretch, but like, I really want to focus on my health this year. I really want to focus on my friendship and my social, my tribe this year, my kids, whatever the case may be. Like, find your area of focus, your areas of focus for the year, and think about what you want to do. So I'm going to pin that. I'm going to pin that as one last thing. Okay. So looking to 2020, find your theme for the year and your areas of focus. There we go. All right. Okay, so we're about 20 minutes, and so that's enough. I've seen a couple of people come on and come off, and that's cool. That's what this is all about. So real quick preview for January. I will be doing a series on goal setting in January. So January, so now let's talk about Evelyn for a minute here. What's my goal? So my goal for 2020, my goal for January, like I said, I have seasonal. I've got December, January, February, and that's about it. And I have larger horizons too, but so January, I want to do a series in which all of my content. So, December, the goal was to blog every day, and I've just about done it. We're almost there. It's 12/28, and I've got posts scheduled out till the 30th. January, I want to do a series, and so the series is going to be on goal setting and execution. So how and with a sort of through line of fitness routine, because I know a lot of people struggle with that. So hey, you want to start a fitness routine in 2020? If that's your thing, check into Bright Start Coaching, because I'm going to be doing blog posts, YouTube, Instagram. I'm going to do a full media blitz just on goal setting for the month of January. So, and with a focus on fitness routine specifically. So, all right. Great talking to you guys. I love Bright Start Mornings. It's always fun. Like I said, it was a little rough morning here in my household, but I think we got through it. Let me go help my husband though. See ya. Bye-bye.